I'm Kim, and these are my two little helpers, Tegan and Caitlin.
Hi.
And today we're going to show you how to temper chocolate to make Easter eggs. All right, is this fun?
Yes.
All right, so here's one that we made earlier. We'll just show you. So we've done it with dark chocolate and milk chocolate and some other ones that we've made earlier. Now the thing about tempering chocolate and why you need to temper chocolate, it makes better Easter eggs, because if you just melt the chocolate and pour it into the molds, the chocolate Easter eggs have that more soggy, soft chocolate feel about them. But when they're tempered, they're thicker. These are some that we did earlier. See how they've got this one, see how shiny they are? That's because we've tempered the chocolate. And so to temper chocolate, what you do is you melt it. So we've got some over here that we did, we've just started. So you don't want the bowl to touch, there's some water in the bottom there that we've boiled. You don't want it to touch the water, okay? And you just want it, we've put some melts in the bottom of this and we've put them in, okay? Can you grab me the thermometer? All right, so it's really important when tempering chocolate to keep an eye on the thermometer. So we've actually got a candy thermometer. Now it's not exact, you could probably get a digital thermometer, because what you want to do is to make sure that the temperature is right. So this is actually milk chocolate, and for milk chocolate what you want to do is heat it up to 45 to 50 degrees. And then after you've got it to 45 to 50 degrees, so we're just looking at it now, it's nearly up to 45 degrees. Then we're going to cool it down to around 29 to 30 degrees. If we're doing dark chocolate, then we're going to do between sort of 53 and 58, and we're going to cool it down. Sorry, just gonna look at my bit of paper, to 31 to 32 degrees, okay? We'll put this in the notes with the recipe, but what we wanna do is heat it up. So this has just gone just a little bit over 50, so I'm gonna take it off there and we're gonna bring it over here. Now, the thing about tempering chocolate, I'm just gonna rest that there, is you may have seen on MasterChef, or if you ever do a chocolate making course, you'll see them, they'll pour the chocolate out over a marble bench or onto a chopping board or something like that, and they'll use a pastry knife to really get in there and get some air happening. With the kids, I'm not going to do that. We're just going to use a silicone spatula. Now, also, another thing that chefs often do, they melt chocolate in the microwave. We don't even own a microwave. I think they're terrible things. So that's why we boil it on over a double saucepan on the stove. And they also use plastic bowls, because plastic doesn't retain heat as much as glass and stainless steel do. I don't like plastic, and I don't want plastic ending up into my chocolate. So I'm going to use a metal bowl, and Tegan's just going to go and get some air in there. So she's going to keep stirring until it gets back down to around 29 to 30 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that, Tegan, so you can be in charge of that. Melting milk chocolate is much the same. So what we've done here is we've melted some milk chocolate and we've put it into a Ziploc bag. Now I'm going to just move Tegan over a little bit. Oops, we've got a chocolate egg stuck to the bottom of our bowl. I'm just going to move Tegan over a little bit. I'm going to snip off the tiniest little bit, because I only want thin lines.
Snip.
All right. Make sure that doesn't stick to any of our...
What's it supposed to be?
So this white chocolate is going to decorate our chocolate Easter eggs. Okay, do you want to show everyone, Caitlin, how you decorate the chocolate Easter eggs? We're looking for 30
basically
degrees.
just draw lines or whatever 40. Design you want over the egg. I like to draw lines.
All right, and let's show them how to go about sticking two eggs together. Okay. So if we get these two, so do you want to... So you can either use the dark chocolate that you've used, or you can use the white chocolate. And we're going to use that white chocolate to actually stick our Easter eggs together. Now these eggs start melting as soon as you touch them, so you may actually even want to use some tongs or something like that to hold them so that they don't melt. because your warmth from your hands actually sticks them together. Actually, before we do this one, something else that we came up with was just putting a few Smarties inside the Easter eggs as a bit of a surprise. So if we do some of these. All right, so if I pop 3 in here. Okay, so Caitlin, if I hold this together, so the white chocolates are kind of acting like a glue, if you like. Can you get it? Squeeze it harder. Right, so you just go around the edges and stick it. If there's any holes, you can fill them up with the white chocolate, or you can use the dark chocolate if you want them to look a bit uniform. You can use the dark chocolate, and then, because this is dark chocolate. All right, so, and you get a result like one that we created earlier, and it's got the Smarties inside it so you can hear it. All right, let me just check the temperature. Oops, we've got so much chocolate on the thermometer, I can't see. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to bring it over here, and the girls are going to show you how to fill in the molds. So we've just got some silicone molds. I do own some old plastic ones, but they're harder to get out the Easter eggs neatly. You do need to use something like a light tasting olive oil or something like that to line the inside of your plastic ones, because I find that they stick and then the plastic can even break. And as I said before,
we don't use plastic.
As I said before, we don't like plastic, so we've got silicone instead. So Tegan, do you want to show everyone how you fill in the... What do you do?
So you basically, you don't have to get so much, but if you want them, so these are hollow eggs, but if you want them full chocolate eggs, then you don't have to, if you
fill in the whole mold?
Yeah, you'll fill in the whole mold, and like we're doing here, we're doing hollow eggs, so if I get a bit too much, and if you're doing hollow eggs, you need to scrape it all up to the edge so it's all right.
All right, you want to go on to the next one?
Yep.
So if you get too much, you can just use your spoon to spoon some out and start putting it in the next one. So you just got to make sure that you've got even amounts all over your eggs, and the thing is you can jiggle it until you get that nice even amount. Okay, so you may actually need to melt your chocolate again. We were doing these earlier and we had to melt it again because the chocolate gets so thick, as it gets
hard.
Cooler, it gets thicker and harder, and it's harder to paint it on. So we're just gonna, All right, so that's basically how you make
Chocolate Easter eggs.
hollow Easter eggs, is to just make sure that you've got no bits where you can see that. All right, so Tegan, do you want to continue on with that?
Yep.
And I'll get Caitlin to help me with the Turkish figs.
These are my favourite.
So Caitlin really likes the Turkish figs. So we've got some dark chocolate in the bowl that we made the Easter eggs out of before, and it's left over. So what oil do we put in this one?
Tangerine.
Not quite. Geranium. We put some geranium in. You can actually use rose oil, and I certainly have when I've wanted to be really decadent, but geranium gives it that Turkish delight type flavour. So if you...
I don't know what she puts in them, but they taste good.
All right, I'm just going to grab some skewers. So what we do is we put one of the figs on the skewers, and then we dip it in the dark chocolate with the geranium oil. Now the thing about adding oils to chocolate, so we also added some orange oil to some of our dark chocolate before when we made the Easter eggs.
That's where I got tangerine from.
And the orange oil makes it like a Jaffa flavour, whereas the geranium gives it that rose Turkish delight type flavour. You can add peppermint, spearmint, lemon myrtle. Oh my gosh, lemon myrtle and white chocolate is amazing. But you've got to make sure that you temper the chocolate first, because otherwise, it's like if you get water accidentally in your chocolate, then your chocolate will split and it won't form that nice smooth surface, and it'll look crystallized after it's gone in the fridge. You know how chocolate after a while gets discolored? It'll look like that. So that's basically how you make the Turkish figs. I have seen some people just coat half of it. I think, why not go the whole hog and let's coat all of the Turkish fig. And the other thing that I do is I dehydrate some rose petals in my dehydrator, and I actually sprinkle a few of those on the top, and it just gives it that extra nice look about it. So that's pretty well how you temper chocolate and how you make Easter eggs and chocolate figs. Do you girls have anything else you want to say?
No.
No?
Have fun making them.